This project will try reusing all knowledge you got from the previous modules and deep dive into concepts that I've never seen on the internet before. I prepared a code template so you'd focus only on the Node.js strings part. Let me show you first what the project is gonna be. You're gonna have two different pages. One page is the player for all your customers listen to all the streams, and you're gonna have your admin page where you can add new effects and start or stop a stream. Well, you're gonna have a Node.js HTTP server there with no frameworks or libraries, and I'm gonna show you how this server is gonna produce data so your clients can listen to it. You have the admin page and you have also the player, right? Once someone is clicking there, we're gonna send the empty stream so your customers can start listening but no audio stream has been played, right? Once someone go there on the admin page and clicks on the start stream, we're gonna start broadcasting our podcast, okay? So all your customers will start listening to the audio, okay? Well, we're gonna have a series of effects. So once you choose one effect, we're gonna have our same podcast there that is going to the client side, right? So when you click on an effect, let's say the applause here, we are gonna merge our effect in the current stream without pausing the current stream. So this is gonna be pretty interesting. So we're gonna merge them all. Our API is gonna keep sending audio messages as it was just the same audio file. Now you got the idea behind it, I'm gonna show the final project working. Alright, as I showed you on the diagram, we're gonna have the player and we're gonna have the admin panel, okay? So I'm gonna start playing here. And I can start streaming to listen to the podcast.
Do you have your own computer?
What if
Yes,
I press
owned a
some
personal
laughing?
laptop when I was in university.
How?
Almost every day. I can't work without a
Nice.
computer.
What if I choose
Have
blue?
you ever joined any computer class?
Yes, years ago. I learned about Microsoft Word and Excel.
What do you use the
What if
computer
I choose applause?
You know, I'm an accountant, so managing business records would be much easier for me using a computer.
for? What are some advantages
What if
of
I
using
press
the
a lot of
computer?
buttons?
With a computer connect, you can shop bills, do bank transactions online. Listening to music,
All
watching
messy, isn't
movies
it?
are even more convenient.
Do you use other high-tech
What if I
devices
stop the
besides
stream?
computers?
Nice. Perfect, my friends. In the video description, I put a zip file that will be our initial code. I wrote the routes to provide static files and also wrote tests for them. As you'll be using a Linux library to edit audios, I put everything on a Docker Compose file, so you'd write the whole application from there. So make sure you have both Docker and Docker Compose installed on your machine. If you prefer not to use Docker, I also put the link in the description for you to install this library and make everything work for there. Let me walk you through this template. I just downloaded the zip file here and I'm gonna use unzip to unzip it. Okay? So I'm gonna have all the files here and you can notice I put everything on a Docker Compose, on a Docker file thing, okay? So you won't have any environmental problems. But just to take a look, we have a Docker file here using the current Node.js LTS, and I put all those scripts we're gonna use in the Docker Compose. So we can go there on this folder. I'm gonna run Docker Compose up build test just to run the test and see if it's working well. Nice, it seems all tests are passing. We can also check out what is inside it. So I put all the Docker commands here as well, but if you wanna run without Docker, you can run as well, but you have just to install socks as I told you, okay? So I'm gonna run npm run live reload Docker.
Yes,
Devices besides computers?
Yes, apart from a computer, I also use a smartphone.
Okay, so first we're gonna go. Let's go to the admin page first. Localhost controller. And here I put just the template, okay? If you click on start, you're gonna see all the animations, so you won't have any problem. Click on it, okay? I'm gonna stop, start, it's not making anything. Well, if you go to the player, I put already there the audio, so it's just gonna start playing right away, but then we're gonna edit and make as we wish, okay? Nice, it's working fine. I'm gonna stop it. Here it's just a mocking for now. And then let's take a look of this data structure. Well, as I told you, we are gonna use socks, and all the commands we're gonna use I already put it here, so you can know how we're gonna start using right away, okay? We're gonna use socks inside Docker to reduce volume, to say what is the template, the rate bit, the type is the output, and so on. And we're gonna get information about this audio to get the bit rate. We're gonna use to transmit data over the network. And I also put here all the commands we're gonna use to merge two songs, okay? Notice here that I'm merging two songs using the file name, but we're gonna use file streams. This is gonna be fun. Okay, as I told you, I put all the commands we're gonna need on the Docker here. So we have live reload, which just tested. We have npm test, which is just executing here, and test watch as well. And I'm using a node modules volume here just to cache everything. What else? Well, I put here an nvmrc, so if you are installing everything by yourself, you can go there and just run nvm use. Let's take a look at the test side. Well, here I'm using only node tests, so there's no need of jest or any additional library here, and I'm using node assert to do all the assertions. The only thing I'm doing here is I'm gonna using fetch to go through those routes, which is just home and controller, and making sure that the contents are exactly what we expect. Okay, we're gonna write the test for all the code we've written, but here I just wrote for what the template is doing. Perfect. Something nice I've done here is I created this helpers file. So what I'm doing here, for each test, I want this to be totally independent, right? So when we are using Node.js, we can use listen on the port 0. So Node.js is gonna try finding which port is available. We're gonna spin up a server, and then we're gonna return this instance so we can go through and make requests on this. For the routes, it doesn't matter. For the routes, I just created a single server, and after all the tests run, I'm just killing these servers, okay? So we can make all those requests, and we're gonna have the URL from the helpers here. So we have the port and everything we want from there. When we call kill server, I'm gonna close all the connections and actually close the server itself. Okay. If you go to the public, you're gonna see both pages. So I have the home. Home doesn't have anything. Home only points out, let me show you. Home only points out to our string, okay? Our route, that is just a single route, and we won't have any JavaScript on this. It's gonna have a single audio stream, and we're gonna just listen to it. We won't make any arrangements, just to show you, so you can improve this project later on, okay? Nice. In the controller side, we do have JavaScript files here. So I created a function that goes to the controller, which is the route we are using there. Pretty straightforward. I have all the commands to send something when we click on these buttons, right? So when we click on this button, we're gonna send to the server so we can change or merge streams. Here, I have only the fetch on the URL, pretty straightforward. I only put this here so we won't have anything on the front end side. We're only gonna focus on the Node.js string side. All right, what else? Well, in the audio, I put all the effects that we're gonna use there, okay? Applause, audience, boo, fart, and I put a single conversation right there. I'm gonna put all the references here in the description so you can know where I got all those sounds. It's pretty straightforward. What else? In server, I tried doing only the structure so we can have the routes, but let's just check out what is there. Well, anything that's gonna be an exception, if we throw some error or some rejection, I'm coding this on the index.js file and just logging the results, okay? And for logging it, I'm using Pinot, okay? Pretty straightforward, pretty nice, and very, very nice. Okay, what else? Well, we're gonna have the listen here, so I put listen this way so we can pass everything by configuration. So if you go on the configuration, I mapped where is the public folder, where is the FX directory, and everything, okay? So we will focus only what is needed for this class. I also put here where is the conversation, what kind of content types we're gonna support, what is the media type, and another configurations that I'm gonna go through later. All right, what else? Let's go back to the index. We're gonna have the server. So server here is just a new instance of a server that we can use in different parts. It's gonna be a totally independent instance. This is how I'm creating this for the tests. Okay, we also have routes. So in the route side, I'm gonna say, well, if you try going to just slash, I'm gonna redirect you to home, okay? Just it. When you go to home, I'm gonna grab that file, which is the home HTML, and I'm gonna just send right away to the users. Nice. Controller, the same thing. The page controller, I'm gonna get the page and just send it away, okay? I did this because we can have only a single server to do all our project on this case. What else? I also put here the string. So this is how the audio is being played. So I fixed it here, the conversation string, okay, the audio, and I'm just saying it already. But this we're gonna change in the next class. I just set some headers here so the browser can understand what we are saying in there. And I have some route here to also send all the static files. The static files are probably CSS, images, and so on, okay? I tried to simplify this because what we're gonna do with streams is gonna be really crazy. Well, you might be thinking, what is this pipeline that consumes partial data? Let's go there. I have here on the YouTube file, I'm using pipeline, okay? And I'm just doing some wrapper here. Let me show you why. We have this current issue that I just opened. What is the problem? When we use pipe, remember I showed you that if you are using pipe and you have some problem with the source, everything keeps in memory, right? So you can have memory leaks. So the good practice is to use pipeline. But imagine you are sending a file or an audio stream to a customer. Pipeline was meant to consume the full stream. But if the customer just leaves the player, we're gonna have some exception, right? We're gonna have this premature close. So I open this to try adding some options so the pipeline will not throw in case the user just left the page. To make this work for our class, I just did this manually. So I check the error if it's premature close, which is the user are not consuming the full string. I'm just gonna return it, okay? Otherwise, it's actually an error and I'm gonna just send it away. Notice here I'm using new error because when we receive a premature close, we don't know where this came from. So when I raise a new error, we have the full stack trace. If you are confused, notice here, when I'm sending, let's say, a file, okay? I'm sending a controller, the controller HTML here, the index HTML. The browser asked for the file and we start downloading it, but for some reason your user is busy and just close the page. We would face here a premature close. So to fix this problem, I'm just ignoring when it's a premature close and keep the flowing going, okay? Also, I will have here some error handling. So when we have this error, I'm gonna just send this 404, or if we have any exception, I'm gonna handle this and not let our API break, okay? Nice. In the service, the last layer, here I have all the interaction with the operating system, okay? So file system, service is the only layer that can access file system and can read files. So I wrapped it here. I'm just grabbing the file info to get to know which is the extension so we can send the right headers for the users. We could have done using Express on any other layers, but I wanted to show you how you can create a full service without any framework. Nice, I think that's it, okay? So most of the things are working for static files, but for reading a string and parsing it, merging, and keep sending data to the users, we haven't done it yet. We're gonna do it on this amazing project. All right, now you have everything ready to start making your own Spotify radio clone focus on editing audio on demand without disconnecting users. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to use the comment section below or our Discord community. I'm always there to help you out. I'm Eric Wendell, and I'll see you in the next class.